Welcome to TradeTheMBI.com. This is John. This report is for the 29th of September, and we got a little bit of a relief right along the retrace line from our positive extremes. And we were talking about the extreme oversold condition here within the DOC, and when we reach these levels, usually we get some form of relief rally pop back up. Is it sustainable? With this kind of depth, usually you get a pop-up that then meets resistance and then fades back down. And it's the second one where you have an improved DOC red where we get above that negative 13.5 is when you would have something that's more sustainable. In fact, we have the dips below the red line right here in the magenta color on the extreme histogram down here at the bottom. That usually means the low is going to have to get tested again. And the question will be when you make a lower low and if you end up with higher DOC red. That's a nice divergence that we tend to look for. Once we saw the MBI magenta over yellow, we knew there would be stability within this current range, and you can see it's almost taken over white, literally almost identical readings between the two of them. The pre-market we're already up 20 this particular stage, but it's early. From an NQ standpoint, even stronger, already breaching that 23% line right there, right at it, and a much stronger crossover at this point. Of course, this is live action. The previous day, we were right at the meeting point, so it's sort of like the NASDAQ day ahead or so of the S&P, and you can see the dip of orange below the red DOC. So that breaks the range and allows for a little bit more positive activity, if you want to describe it like that. Also, Treasuries coming back, it needs to come back up quite a ways to get in line. But, this is that carry through when, things start going in one direction. They tend to continue to go in that direction, barring some change. And sometimes that goes too far. And in this case, they've gone a little too far too soon. But as I said, as oil goes, the market will go. So the little fade back in oil from the other day really made a difference for allowing people to jump back in. Now, does it really help much? Because are we still at the peak end of the range? Sure, but it's just okay. It's not accelerating in its rate increase, so there's a little relief in that standpoint, but it's got to come down quite a bit for it to be of any help. That fade in oil certainly helping the euro, but also too, we've talked about they've got to defend this area. We broke down in the 1.04 range there, and it gets tougher for them because even in this rally again, you have to justify what do you want a euro for? Only if oil is cheaper, and it's not significantly cheaper. Gold still within some ugly readings from that standpoint, but holding on, it's going to have to climb back up as the realization for that inflationary situation goes. And you can see, like we talked about, the crypto acting faster than gold in this particular case. And it was a nice turnaround move and very clean from a MBI reading, even a DOC setup. So starting to get a little more activity, particularly here as we get into the start of October and finalize the month end. And so people are going to be arranging their book accordingly. From an ETH standpoint, also pretty much mimicking what Bitcoin was doing in that particular case. For our 50K, we could see the improvement from DOC, so going from the heavy negative, got into the neutral zone, and then once it started moving to a positive, that's all it took. Pushing us up into the 100% range right now. But as you can see, that's literally just getting back to the lows of where we were over here. So it helps stabilize things, but by no means panacea. I don't know what happened there. That's quite the funky 5K display. Actually, it's a 5-minute chart in this case. Let's see if it catches up here for a second. Regardless, though, intraday, most of the activity was to the positive side. We went back and forth. Right now in the pre-market, we're seeing just a lot of activity. I don't know what's caused that to freeze up, but I'll post a chart of the Skype chat from it. As always, though, trade well, and look for indicators to come out for the new month over the weekend. Trade well.